I think we have the enough audience. Yeah. So let me introduce myself. So my name is Prince Saroj. So I am from Y15 batch. So I passed out IIT Kanpur in 2019, and after that I joined Adobe as a software development engineer. So yeah, I have been in this company since 2 years, and I started reading about blockchains and investing and things like that. I think in 2020 start. So I have been following that area since that time, and I am actually interested to contribute in the blockchain technology. So I'm also working on that apart from my job. So yeah, that's it about myself. And just confirm me if you all can hear my voice in between, if I'm not lost. In the chat,
Yes,
you can.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great, great. Sure.
this is fine.
Okay, I think now let me share the screen, and let's start with the session. Okay, so we are going to talk about the blockchain technology. So we are not going to see from the financial perspective that how, in which coin you need to invest or things like that. We are going to see it from the development perspective, that if you want to contribute into the blockchain technology, that what you should be knowing, and uh, how can you contribute to blockchain technology, or how you can leverage blockchain technology for your projects. So the main intention for this session is that. So the very quick, the list of agenda for today's session. We will be talking about blockchain basic idea and a very brief history. We'll be talking about the consensus algorithm and account types. What are the account types in blockchain, smart contract, transactions and its fees, token standards, and demo. We will have two demos. So about the smart contract mainly, we will be deploying some app on the blockchain and we will be testing that out. So that is very brief agenda. So not sure, I wanted to have questions in chat so that we will not have much interference with the session, but you can ask questions by unmuting yourself, because I don't see a way to get messages from as a public messages to everyone. You have to send me privately, and I have to open everyone's message. So that doesn't seem good to me. So you can unmute yourself and ask questions, but I'll keep some time in the end for the questions. So if it's possible to keep your questions till that time, or if it is not, you can just unmute yourself and ask. Yeah. So yeah, to the main topic. So what is blockchain? So yeah, in simple words, blockchain is just a database. It's nothing more. It is a system that stores data in a specific order. No fancy thing. So if you look from a very high level perspective, it is just a database. So what makes blockchain unique and very attractive, if it is just a database? So there are some properties which is present in blockchain and which is not available in traditional databases. These properties are immutability. So immutability means once you write anything to the blockchain, it can't be changed. So this database is append only. So you can just add, you cannot remove it, or you cannot edit it. So it gives you that ability to do that. And second point is decentralization. So if you are aware of the traditional databases, for example, MySQL, Mongo, not sure. Yeah, so these databases, they are actually from a specific service. So if you want MySQL, you need to host it in AWS, Amazon Web Services, or things like that. So there will be some intermediary party who will be maintaining your database, who will be hosting your database for you. So in this case, this blockchain database or blockchain or database is completely decentralized. Every entry in this blockchain is approved upon consensus of thousands of nodes present in the network. So we will talk about the consensus in the later slides. So all the nodes need to consent on the data which is being written to. After that, it is only written to the blockchain. And third point is transparency. Blockchain is completely transparent. I'm talking about the public blockchains here. We will be focusing mainly on the public blockchains. We will not be focusing on private blockchains. So public blockchains such as Bitcoin or Ethereum, they are completely transparent. You can see each and every transaction from its inception to today, or you can even track any account from its inception, that how much when it was created, how much money it has sent to this time. You can see everything, so it is completely transparent, trustless. So when you are dealing with your money related issues, you want it is very hard to trust a bank. I mean, let's say I am going to send money to some person A, then I have to send money via bank. In this case, my transaction will be verified by bank and a central entity. So I am trusting a central bank or any bank there to transfer my funds. So in this medium, so you will have a trustless system of decentralized network. So every node will have some incentive to perform your task. So here, if you transfer your Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything related data, it will be just a blockchain or database transaction, which will be accomplished by decentralized network. So these are the four properties that is provided by the blockchains, which is not present in the traditional databases. That makes it very great and very attractive, and yeah, this things like that. So this is very top overview. We will go into the little bit detail now. So yeah, history of blockchain. So the concept of blockchain technology was originally created by Satoshi Nakamoto. I think you might have heard his name. So through the introduction of Bitcoin. So he is anonymous till date. So no one knows who he is, or whether this is the real name, or from where he was. People um, predict that he was from China or England, but no one knows who was that. So he gave the introduction to Bitcoin white through his white paper on Bitcoin. So the vision of Satoshi was to create a digital form of cash, but with some additional properties like no intermediary, completely transparent, and things like that. So his vision was to create digital form of cash. So yeah, one more thing. So it is important to know the difference between what is Bitcoin and what is blockchain technology or blockchain. People generally confuse Bitcoin with blockchain. I mean, Bitcoin is the digital currency that uses blockchain technology to make itself work. I mean, blockchain technology is the underlying technology that enables Bitcoin to work. The, so this is that. So you can have various other projects based on blockchain technologies, such we will be talking of Ethereum. So Ethereum also uses blockchain technology, and it is another blockchain. So network. So this is about a very basic history of blockchain. Yeah. So now uh, Bitcoin versus Ethereum. First of all, let's see. So what is Bitcoin? So Bitcoin, you might have heard about it, but I'm not sure if everyone completely knows why it was created. What was the actual purpose? So Satoshi Nakamoto, as you already saw, that his vision was to create a digital form of cash without any intermediary, decentralized network, so that government cannot control the money. Because when government controls the money, they control the people. So that was the thing in his mind, and he thought that if we remove the control from government for the money, so government cannot control individual. Because yeah, so his intention was to make digital cash. So it was digital cash, but also nowadays we also called it a digital gold. So let's first go to digital cash. Why digital cash? So Bitcoin has some value. It has some dollar value or INR value. Currently it is, I think, 25 or 26 lakhs. It is hovering around that. So 26 lakhs rupees for one Bitcoin. You can transact 0.0001 Bitcoin, or you can transact even 100 rupees Bitcoin. You can send money to your relative. See, this is also provided by your phone pay. You can transfer money to your relative via phone pay. But let's say you want to send money to someone who is not in your country, who is I don't know, anywhere, but he has some kind of internet. So you can send money via Bitcoin. So generally this government, the normal traditional banking system doesn't provide this support. If you are going to make the international transfer, it will take you, I mean, 2 to 3 days, and Bitcoin does that in minutes. So this is why it is called digital cash, and why it is called digital gold. So the maximum number of Bitcoin that can ever be produced will is 21 million Bitcoins. So it is programmed into the Bitcoin code that you can mine only 21 million Bitcoin. So currently 18.5 million Bitcoin is already mined. So we have, I think, it is very less number of 2.5 million Bitcoins currently needed to be mined. And you need very huge computational power to mine the Bitcoin. So see, you have some similarities between gold and the Bitcoin. Bitcoin also is scarce. Gold is also very scarce. It is hard to mine Bitcoin. It is hard to mine gold. So that's why it is also called digital gold. So this is why it is called digital cash or digital gold. So its main purpose was for transactions. So yeah, so this is Bitcoin. So what is Ethereum? So actually, there was a person called Vitalik Buterin. So he wanted to extend Bitcoin to support uh, many things. I mean, he wanted to run code on the Bitcoin network. He wanted to not just use Bitcoin for transaction. He wanted that Bitcoin network should run some code. So you can deploy your code on top of the network and it executes it and you got the result. So he wanted to do that and he tried, he made the changes and he made the PR but the community, the Bitcoin community didn't approve of it. So they rejected that proposal. So he then created his own cryptocurrency called Ethereum. I think it was created in 2013 or 12. I'm not completely sure about the date, but it was created during that time. And this Ethereum he created, which will have the Bitcoin properties, digital cash. We'll talk about digital gold in a bit, but it can be a digital cash. You can transact money with it. Everything you can do that we can do with Bitcoin. So everything. Plus, Ethereum is a global computer. I mean, you can run any code onto the blockchain network. So when you deploy your code onto the Ethereum network, since Ethereum is a uh, blockchain network where whose miners are everywhere. So when you deploy your code will be accessible to everywhere in the world. So you don't need to take care about the availability problems. I mean, if you have any brilliant idea and you want to deploy your app via AWS, maybe Amazon Web Services or things like that, you need to pay for your availability if you want your servers to be running, and you need big servers so that more requests can come and you can think like that. But with Ethereum, since it is already built-in infrastructure, you just need to deploy the code, and the infrastructure is maintained by the network of nodes, and they will run your code, and everyone in the world can use your application. So this is what Ethereum is. It is why it is not digital gold. Ethereum don't have the capped supply. I mean, you currently Ethereum there is no such thing like 21 million or any fixed number of Ethereum that can ever be produced. It can be produced any number. I mean, this is the current state, but there is a proposal called EIP 1559 Ethereum improvement proposal, which will be executed in next 2 months. So the timeline was July, I think. It is July 2021. So after that, Ethereum, the ETH. So Bitcoin's currency is Bitcoin with a small b. This is capital B is for network, capital E for Ethereum network, and if you use small b, it is for coin. And if you use small Ethereum, generally for Ethereum, we use ETH. So Ethereum, so that proposal will make ETH as a deflationary asset. I mean, with time, it will be reduced. It will be reducing. I mean, it will not be increasing with time. It will be reducing. That will also make it more than digital gold, because digital gold is scarce, but this Ethereum supply will be going negative. So that will be great. So this is the basic idea. So Bitcoin is digital cash. Ethereum is global computer plus cash. You can run any code on top of it. So this is about it. And now the consensus algorithms. So we have huge number of we have huge number of nodes in any blockchain network, maybe be it Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we need some consensus algorithm. So what is consensus algorithm? It is a procedure through which all the nodes or peers of the blockchain network reach a common agreement about the present state of blockchain. It is also called distributed ledger. So ledger is kind of database and it is distributed, so it is called that. So you need some consensus algorithm. So there are various types of consensus algorithm. We will be focusing mainly on the two, proof of work and proof of stake. You might have heard about it. Proof of work, at least I hope you must have heard about it. This is used in Bitcoin is based on proof of work algorithm, consensus algorithm. Ethereum is also based on proof of work algorithm, but Ethereum is moving to proof of stake in the next 1 or 2 years. It has always been in the plan for Ethereum. So currently they are using proof of work algorithm. Let's go over very briefly on both of them. So proof of work. Let's assume this is my blockchain transaction, Bitcoin transaction. So I have some piece of transactions written here. So let's say Alice made a transaction on blockchain that she pays Bob 20 ledger dollars or Bitcoin, and Alice also made a transaction to me, let's say 30 Bitcoin or ledger dollars. Charlie pays me $100. So in blockchain, there are a number of transactions. They are grouped together into a term called block. So block is a data structure which holds a list of transactions. So I'm not completely sure about the number, how many number of transactions it can hold. So there is a fixed number, max cap on the number of transaction it can hold. So you have the block here, and with each block you need to find this number, this 10737. This is about miner I'm talking about. So miner will have all these three transactions in a block, and what his task is to find this number. This number is called nonce. So he has to find this number such that if you apply cryptographic hash function on this complete message, it will return a 256 bit number, binary number with 30 zeros in the front. So you have created a criteria that you need to find a number such that when you apply the cryptographic hash function, it should return 30 zeros. So it takes time. I mean, there is no proper way to find this number. You need to use brute force, and you have to iterate it for every from 0 or 1. So you need to find that number. That's why it takes time. And this is used in Bitcoin. And we also say that Bitcoin, you cannot just mine more Bitcoin by getting more processing power. I mean, you personally can, but the total number of Bitcoin that will be produced in the world will be same irrespective of the processing power you use. So how that is achieved is by making this problem more hard. I mean, this is currently 30 zeros. This is not the actual numbers. Actual number is different. So let's say the criteria is 30 zeros. So it is adapted automatically depending upon the processing power present in the network. So if you add more CPUs to the mining rig, then this 30 zeros will be adjusted to 32 zeros, so that you will mine only fixed number of Bitcoin in a specific duration. So that's how it works. So it's not like you have huge computer and you can just mine every Bitcoin. You cannot. That is not possible. It will be adjusted. Difficulty will be adjusted. So this is about proof of work. Proof of stake, we will see. Yeah. Instead, as you saw in the previous section, proof of work, we had actually miners competing with the computational power with their processors, but which has some bad impact on the environment. And there are several issues with the proof of work. So there is another algorithm called proof of stake. So in this proof of stake, what a miner here, we don't call the person, the node operator who is going to put your data onto the blockchain. We don't call it miner, we call it validator. So the terms are different, but their work is almost same. So we call it validator. So what validator does is they lock some funds into a security deposit. So they lock some fund into a security deposit, and after that there will be several validators who will have logged some funds into the security deposit, and the miner, the winner, will be chosen based upon the number of coins anyone has logged. So let's say this person has logged only one coin and this person has logged 4 coins. So she has 4 times more chance to be a validator than him. So the more you validate, the more you put it into the security deposit, the more you get the chance. So this is how it works. Plus, and it is not exact. I mean, this is, let's say this is here. This person has 4 coins that is logged. So she will not get the every, I mean, she will not be the validator for every transaction. She will get more chance. That is true, but she will not be. So the transaction, they will also be validated at some point of time. So it is completely randomized. So there are other several factors, but she will be in advantage. Plus, here, if this person tries to add some bad transaction or forge some transaction into the uh, network, so her security deposit will be slashed away. That's how security of this blockchain is um, ensured. And as we already mentioned, this Ethereum is moving to actually proof of stake. So process, we are already in the process, and it will be, I think, in 1 or 2 years, we will have Ethereum on top of proof of stake. I think that's it. Any questions till now? I mean, we will be now, from now on, we will be moving to a little bit separate topic. Any questions? Okay, chats I have. Let me see. So, Hemant, not increase the inflation by pumping more money. Okay. What is crypto mining? I think Prasad Javre, is it clear what is crypto mining now? I mean, you got the idea here. This crypto mining is basically proof of work that I told you. He has to find this number. I mean, 256 bit number such that its first 30 bits are zeros. So that miner will have to iterate over all the possible numbers, which he has to find basically this number. This is called nonce character, nonce number. And once he finds it, he will be the winner and he will be rewarded some block reward. So current block reward is 6.25 Bitcoin. So if you are lucky to find this number, you will be awarded 6.25 Bitcoin. That is huge. I mean, 1 Bitcoin is 25 lakhs. So that is the thing. People also, yeah. So it uses high computational power because you are using brute force. You are not using any specific algorithm to solve this. You are actually iterating over all the numbers.
And along with that, there will be multiple players who are checking out the same block.
Correct. You have to find it fastest. I mean, in the network, the current block time, what is block time for Bitcoin is 10 minutes. So you have to find this number in 10 minutes, within 10 minutes. Otherwise, the next person will find it. So the average block time is that. So you have to find, you have to actually iterate this number. So Shivam, this is not fixed. This is mock data we have. So for every transaction, so if you, for every transaction will be different. So Alice pays Bob 20 ledger dollars. So the transaction will not be limited to this. It will have some digital signature associated with it. The digital signature will be is created by the Alice's private and public keys. So it will also contain that thing. And this number depends upon the transactions that is performed into this block. So this, so if you change even, let's say $19, this number will completely change, and there is no any proper method to predict what will be this number. So you have to redo the maths again. So this is not the thing. Yeah. Uh, so 6.25 actually, it is not 6.5 Bitcoin. So what it is, so let's say we are a group of miners and we are competing for this, we are competing to get this block mined. So let's say I am the winner and I found out this number quicker than every one of you. So I have the opportunity to add a special transaction. I will add a special transaction on the header of this block that pay me 6.25 Bitcoin, my address. I will put my address on that. So it is allowed. So it is done automatically by your computer, Bitcoin software. So it will automatically add a transaction. So it will produce 6.25 Bitcoin out of thin air. I mean, that's where the supply is. So 6.25 Bitcoin will be available once you have found this number. So this is that. Yes, so whoever has the more computational power will always have the advantage over others. So this is one of the reasons why you might have heard the about the Elon Musk tweet that sent this network is centralized. Actually, it is not completely decentralized because China owns most of the hashing power. So they are. So yeah, uh, BTC, yeah, Bitcoin production will be exhausted, I think, in 2100. So after that, it is. So there are two kind of income to a miner. So one income is he will get, yeah, one income he will get is 6.25 Bitcoin, and the another income is the for every transaction you have transaction fees associated with it. So the miner will also get all the sum of all the transactions fees that is associated into the block. So after the all the Bitcoin is exhausted, it is said that, at least it is in theory, it is said that the transaction fees will suffice or will incentivize itself to mine the block. That is the idea here. So I will talk about how cryptocurrencies they are different. What is it to make? Yeah, actually, we will be making a new cryptocurrency now in our demo. We will be making our old coin, so you'll be rich, but on testnet. So, what gives Bitcoin its value? So if you think in terms that what gives gold its value, I mean, apart from jewelry, not everyone uses gold for jewelry. Gold is precious, and gold has value because it is scarce. It is very hard to mine. So the artificial scarcity that is introduced into the Bitcoin network gives its value. And all the available things like no intermediary in between, so you have the complete system where you can transfer money over the network without anyone's approval or things like that. So this gives its value.
Yeah, along with that, so how does your paper money get its value? Everyone accepts that if you pay 20
Yeah,
rupees you'll get a slice of bread, so everyone accepts that it has value, so it has value. So yeah, everything in this world is of the same thing. Diamonds has its value by, it's industrially, it's only used for cutting some things which are less harder than diamond. But other than that, it's not that it has a special usage. You can live without diamonds, but you perceive it as valuable, so it's valuable.
yeah. Yeah, so with every hashing, we pay 6.25 Bitcoin. So in every 10 minutes, 6.25 Bitcoin is created, and it is getting into the supply, and we will be able to mine less Bitcoin in future. So it's like that. So we have the max cap of 21 million. So that's like that. So different cryptocurrencies, how are different cryptocurrencies different? So they are different. Basically, one of the things I have already showed you, that proof of work and proof of stake. Some of the cryptocurrencies can be based on proof of work. They enter the data into the blockchain using the proof of work algorithm. Some select proof of stake, and Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency whose main purpose is for transaction. So it is a digital cash or gold. So this is one cryptocurrency, and there is another cryptocurrency called Ethereum. So Ethereum is created for a different region. It is created for as a smart contract platform. So we'll talk about a smart contract, but in very rough idea, I want to give you, it is a platform where you can deploy your code and which will be executed. So that's the two kind of cryptocurrencies in this example. And if you want to create a new cryptocurrency completely from scratch, you need to set up the network of nodes. So it will take some time for you. I mean, people have to operate nodes for your network. So that takes time, but there are are other ways to create cryptocurrencies that we will be talking about without uh, making without taking such so much time. So we will there are ways to create cryptocurrencies which can leverage the security and the network of nodes of Ethereum. So you can create cryptocurrency on top of Ethereum. I mean, it provides you the platform to deploy apps. So it does everything. You can deploy your coin on top of Ethereum, and you have the security of the ETH network, which is battle tested. So we'll talk about this in a detail. So currency is created out of thin air is basically, I mean, see, if you see, this is very vague thing, but this complete blockchain, this complete Bitcoin is nothing but just an accounting diary. You just write things here. If you have used Splitwise, what have you done? Let's say you go to the dinner party and you write all your transactions there, that he needs to pay me this, he needs to pay me this, he needs to pay me this. So at the end of month, what you see, what is the net positive that you are getting, or what is the net negative what you are getting. So Bitcoin is just that, with the exception that you cannot overspend. In Splitwise, it will be shown to you that you owe this person this much. So that will not be there, but there will be some positive net Bitcoin to you. So it is just an accounting thing. And in accounting, you just add that the network added 6.25 Bitcoin to your account. So the supply, let's say current supply of the Bitcoin was X. So the supply will be X plus 6.25 currently. So that's how it is created out of thin air. Yeah, recently $1 billion. Uh, I'll not talk about this. I don't know what is the procedure. They are. I think Sandeep Nailwal is taking care of the $1 billion worth of Ethereum donated to India. And about the Dogecoin does nothing. So if you are thinking about investing into Dogecoin, so I'll say beware. I mean, it does nothing. It is just a meme coin. It was created as a fun, so nothing. Yes, cryptocurrency, using cryptocurrency is can be, some people call it the waste of energy, some people call it the energy should be involved in the value you create. I mean, if you are treating Bitcoin as some value, giving some value, so I mean, in the whole universe, what has value? It's the energy, so it should be associated with energy. So there are various theories, so we'll not go into detail. Mining process, if you want to mine, I mean, using proof of work, so you need to have a, I mean, currently you can't mine with your laptop. You need specialized hardware to mine Bitcoin or any currency, or almost any currency that uses proof of work. So you basically that specialized hardware will find this number via brute force. So that is the idea. Yes, after $21 million, miners will still solve the problem because they will get the sum of all the transactions which is present in the block. And let me tell you, in Bitcoin, each transactions, I mean, if you want to make a transaction in Bitcoin currently, it costs you huge. I mean, it is around $50 or $60. So with each transaction at $50 or $60, you are there. If there are many transactions, so you will get money. You'll get money. So let's move ahead. I think we have spent some time here. So yeah. Uh, yes, we need special hardware. It is called ASIC mining rig. So for mining Bitcoin, you need ASIC mining rig, and it is not profitable unless you are investing huge amount of money, because as I already said, there are big players in the Bitcoin network. So you need to be really paying hard. Or there is another way, you can pool your processing power. So there are some processing power pooling. So you can rent your processing power, and that pool, if it gets some Bitcoin, it will be divided based upon the processing power you rented. So that is the idea. So Pranjal, I think the meeting is recorded. You can take a look after that. I think we have spent a lot of time. We have a lot of things to cover. So let me go over the thing. So yeah, from now on, we will be shifting from Bitcoin or any in general blockchain thing to mainly Ethereum network. So as we Rejected digital ledger stored is on the machine or no longer. Yes, it is stored in the nodes, and that way that makes it actually memory heavy. And there are issues. That's why you need mining rig. You cannot just use your laptop to mine things. It will need some space, and with time, the blockchain network is increasing. So you will need good space and great things. So there are some limitations in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is actually very restrictive. You cannot make changes in Bitcoin. I mean, there are a lot of peoples in the Bitcoin community. They will restrict the change. They will say that it is gold. You don't change gold. It will be same. But Ethereum, on the other hand, is I mean, if you want to develop something, if you want to do something, I advise you to do it on Ethereum. Ethereum is open to change. Bitcoin is not actually open to change. I mean, there are some serious limitations in Bitcoin, but it was the first time. This is currently my view. You can go and research. So yeah. So our main topic of today's discussion will be on Ethereum, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin just only provides acts as digital cash or as a gold. So for a developer, it is not as interesting as Ethereum, as Ethereum is providing you the platform to develop apps. So that's why we will be using Ethereum. Ethereum is also on proof of work currently. So it will be shifting to proof of stake. So from now on, we will be shifting to Ethereum. So this is the symbol of Ethereum blockchain. So it is the second market cap cryptocurrency in the market. So I think its market cap is around, I'm not sure, 200, 300, $400 billion, maybe. I haven't seen it in a while. So it is the second biggest cryptocurrency in the world. So yeah, account. I think we had some questions regarding this. Okay, no questions regarding this. So what is an account in Ethereum network? So basically an account, this is also applicable. Actually, the second point is applicable to mainly Ethereum, but first point is also applicable to Bitcoin. So an Ethereum account, or in general, Ethereum account is basically an entity which can hold ETH balance, or in case of Bitcoin, it can hold BTC balance. And it is also able to send transactions on Ethereum network or on Bitcoin network. So what is transactions here? Transaction is basically you are sending some money to your colleague. That is a transaction. So you need to do that via your account. So yeah, the account also holds ETH as a balance or Bitcoin as a balance. So what are the types of accounts? So this is specifically for Ethereum. So there are two types of accounts in Ethereum network. So externally owned account and contract account. So externally owned account is basically the account we use if you have used cryptocurrency. So this is the externally owned account. So this is the non-custodial account. So I'll not talk about non-custodial now. So it is some advanced thing. So externally owned account is basically controlled by users. You can send fund using this account. You can receive funds using this account. So things like that. And there is another account called contract account. So I'll just say for simplicity, uh, there on if you are deploying some code on the Ethereum network, that code is called smart contract, and you can consider it as a app or things like that. You can do everything that code with that code, but on Ethereum network we call it smart contract. The terminology is that. So for an app account, or you can call contract account. So we will talk about a smart contract in very detail. We'll also showcase your demo how to create a smart contract and do things with it. So though there is a contract account, so the contract account which can also hold Ether. Of course, it can also send transaction on Ethereum network, but it is not controlled by any individual. It is controlled by the code which is written on a smart contract or your app. So it is completely in control of the smart contract. So let me show you an example of actually externally owned account. So I have, okay, this is supposed to be here. Yeah. So I have some wallets here. So I will also talk about these wallets in the last section. So this is my wallet and it has some ETH. So this is user owned account. So or externally owned account. So I can send some money to any person. So I need to just type the address of that person. I can send money to anyone. Also, if I need to, if I want to receive funds to from anyone, I can just copy this address and I can share it with anyone, and they can send the funds to me. So that is the, yeah, sorry, that is the idea here. So it is in control of user, you can see things. And yeah, and this is the thing. So this was about the account. What is smart contract? I think this is interesting thing. So a smart contract, like any other contract, it establishes the terms of agreement and is executed as a code running on blockchain. I mean, you define a file system in very vague terms. You define, if this happens, do this, if this happens, do this, if this happens, you do this, and you write this code onto the blockchain, and it will perceive if that happens, then will execute that part of code if any particular activity has happened. Let's say a very vague example of insurance company. I mean, currently, if you broke something which was insured and you went to the insurance company, and they will tell, no, 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 this is not possible. And I mean, some company can they will not provide, it is possible they might not provide you your insured money. But with, you can implement that thing with the smart contract. You write the terms and condition into the smart contract, and if that thing happens, so it will be executed automatically. There is no company, no individual uh, controlling the insurance company. It is completely the code which is controlling, and that code is completely public. As I have already said, blockchain is completely transparent. So actually, while when you go for buying the insurance, go to the smart contract code, check if this thing is covered. If this thing is covered, you don't need to care. I mean, you trust the code. If you trust the code, to that, so it will be executed. So these self-executing contracts allow users to build apps that take advantage of blockchain security, reliability, and accessibility, while offering sophisticated peer-to-peer functionality. So this is about a smart contract. We'll talk about it in a bit. Yeah. Now, transactions and its fees. So we already touched upon the transaction, I think, in this slide, but in detail a little bit. So there are two kinds of transactions: read transactions and write transactions. So the all the things are related to mainly Ethereum from now onwards. So just relate to that. Don't compare it with the Bitcoin, and don't confuse it with the Bitcoin. So yeah, so transaction, there are two kinds of transaction: read and write operations. So read operations are free. I mean, when you are reading from any database, so it's just like that. You are reading the state of the blockchain. So if you are reading the balance which is present in any account, so you can track that, tracing any transaction from origin. If you see any transaction malicious, you can trace that transaction, where it is came from. You can actually do everything tracing from the origin. And you might have some apps deployed onto the Ethereum network, which is also called, that app is also called a smart contract in Ethereum terminology. So it might have some read functions which will just return you the state of the blockchain. So that will also be free. Yeah. And write operations. So write operations will cost you ETH. So ETH is the native digital currency of Ethereum network. So every write operation will cost you Ethereum. So what are the write operations? So when you are sending some coins to anyone, so you are actually changing the state of some account. So you are uh, changing the you are creating a blockchain transaction for that, right? Transaction. Deploying a smart contract, you are putting some code onto the blockchain network. That is also right operation. So if you're deploying apps, you need to pay ETH. Executing write method into the smart contract. So if you have some methods which is writing into the blockchain, so you also need to pay for that. So see here, you asked about the how the value is created for Bitcoin. So for ETH, the value is created here. So if more people come into using Ethereum network for their apps, so it will cost them ETH. So the here demand is created, and supply, if it is limited, or if it is deflationary, which is going to happen in ETH in few months, so it will have some value. That's where the ETH's Ethereum coin's value is created. Apart from as a transaction mechanism, this is where it is created. Yeah, this is about the transaction and its types. Token standard. So I'll just very briefly touch upon this. We will see this thing live. So I think there was, we had some questions. Hold on. Yeah, we had some questions like, can we make our own coins? So here is the answer: we can. Ethereum, first of all, um, as we already said, ETH is the native coin of Ethereum network. So when you make any right transaction, you need to pay ETH, first of all. And then there are token standards on Ethereum. Call, for simplicity, you can call coin standards. So you can make actual coins on top of Ethereum network. So uh, on top of Ethereum network. So there are two kinds of coins or tokens which you can make on Ethereum network. So these coins or these cryptocurrencies, which is made on top of Ethereum network, will use the security and the network of nodes which is present for Ethereum. So you don't need to have those setups. So Ethereum is battle tested. So you just create your own cryptocurrency on top of Ethereum, and everyone will trust you. I mean, if anything is deployed on Ethereum, everyone trusts that. It has been since 2012 and 13, and it has been through various hacks. So yeah, that thing. And there are two kinds of coins or tokens which you can make on top of Ethereum. First of all, ERC20 and ERC721. This is the standard which is given for the token. So ERC20, it is a fungible token. So it is like your Bitcoin or Ethereum. So you can divide into many parts. Let's say you have one ETH, you can send 0.0001 ETH to someone, or you can send 0.1 ETH, 0. Anything, 2 ETH to anyone. So it is just like your normal Bitcoin or Ethereum. And it is used with a smart contract decentralized application. So what it means, I will touch upon this in later as well, but very brief idea that let's say you have a very brilliant idea that you have an app which you deploy on Ethereum, but once you deploy it on Ethereum, it is public and everyone can use it. So what you are getting out of it? So nothing. So in your smart contract, you also write code and in which you create a coin which is ERC20 token, and you make something like, let's say you make a Uber riding app on a smart contract, and you told that if you use my ERC20 token or coin to pay the Uber driver, you will get 20% discount always. So you are creating the demand for your coin. So once you are creating the demand for your coin, it will have some value. And since you as a smart contract developer or as an app developer will have the major portion of this coin, so yeah, you will be rich if your platform or your smart contract gets famous. So that's how it is done. So it is related to your shares. So you are not actually getting the revenue, but you are actually earning from the shares which you have. So ERC20 token is generally used with smart contract decentralized applications to create, yeah, for any decentralized application, you have an associated coin with it, which will, the app will create the demand for that coin, and thus there will be a value. So I will touch upon this with the actual examples. And yeah, this is interesting. ERC721, non-fungible token. So this is unique. You cannot divide it. I mean, earlier in ERC20 token, if I have one Ethereum and you have one Ethereum, I can exchange with yours, and both of us will have the same value. No one, I mean, we can exchange it and we have the same value of $2,300. But with ERC721 token, each coin or each token is completely unique and it is different. So every token is associated with digital art or physical content. This is interesting. So you can have, if you are a good artist, you can actually monetize your art by tokenizing it. You can create a token for it, and with token you can also code that you want only one copy of this in the market, and anyone who owns that token will have the proof of ownership. How? That your account, the owner's account, has created that token for that art. So it will be stored in the blockchain, and since blockchain maintains the complete history of transaction, so at any point of time you can prove that this digital art came from this person. So this has a lot of applications. Let me show you a platform which actually is a marketplace which sells you this image. If you are actually a good artist, please go ahead and search OpenSea. When people are selling and buying things, they are getting money. If this is the time for artists. So just this, see this. Um, this is a GIF. There is nothing else associated with it. So this is a GIF, and see the current price of this GIF, $4,000. There is nothing. And trading history, you can see every history associated with this. So who created that, when, where it was transferred, or things like that. So so null address, it was created here, it is already created from here, and this person has created it, and I think he has created multiple copies of it, so he is selling those copies here, so you will get everything here. So that is the thing here. This is ERC 721. So this is interesting. I think we will be mainly focusing on ERC 20 tokens currently, but if you are interested, we can take up ERC 721 session. I mean, this is great thing to talk about. So this was about it. And yeah, so there are some other topics I needed to cover so that the demo will be more clear to everyone. So what is wallet? Cryptocurrency wallet. So you must have heard that my wallet has 1 Bitcoin, or I had this much of Bitcoin, or things like that. So wallet doesn't store your actual Bitcoin, or doesn't store your actual Ethereum wallet. The definitions which I'm going to tell is applicable for everything. So every blockchain. So wallets doesn't store your Ethereum. I mean, if anyone is saying that my wallet cannot store more than 100 billion Ethereum, it is wrong. I mean, wallet does only contain the private key and the public key pair, which can fetch users account from the blockchain. So it has public key and private key stored, and it goes into the blockchain network, Ethereum network, and it sends a read message that what is the current status of this account, what is the balance of this account. It just queries into the network, and it will just reflect you the actual balance which is returned from the query. So it contains that, and it also has this wallet provide you a very user experience interface to send your transactions. So if you don't have this wallet, you need to write code for sending your money. So you just send, if you want to send your transaction, you do this. So it doesn't contain your I, coin. Blockchain is an accounting diary, you can say that, and it goes and query that accounting diary, that how much this person is positive, and it shows you here. That's it. That's what it does. uh, Etherscan. What is Etherscan? So Etherscan is a platform or site. Since I told you that blockchain is completely transparent, so Etherscan is a site where you can see every transaction. Um, you just need to, let me just open this Etherscan. Yeah, it is for Ethereum. For Bitcoin, there are others. So we'll be focusing on Ethereum. So you can just type any address, transaction has block, anything, and it will show you the complete history regarding this. So let's go and check this person. I mean, this is he has sold a lot of on NFTs or ERC 721. Let's copy his address and go and see his transactions. So yeah, we have all his transactions here. You can see that what has he done, transaction fees, everything, how many ether he has sent, or things like that. So you can see every transaction here. So this is the platform, and here also I think, yeah, public contract code. So as I already told you that if you deploy your apps onto the blockchain, so your code is also public. So let me show you some of the very famous. This is Uniswap. Uniswap is a great app. I will tell you about it in detail what it is, but this is a contract for the token created, the unique token created. So this is an app deployed on Ethereum network. If you want to see the code of this contract, you can just go ahead and see the contract source code, and it is also verified, and you can see the code, and you can copy and paste it, and you create your separate platform, and no one is going to stop that. It is public and everyone can do that. No one is going to stop that. And there are actually several copies of Uniswap, and they also have $1 billion market cap. So you can go ahead and try your luck. That is one thing. Yeah, this was about the theory part, and I just wanted, yeah, any questions? If you have any, please put before we move to the demo part. Guess not. Okay, think let's move to the demo. Sure, we will take questions at the end, but wanted to just quickly see very quick questions here because things will people will forget about the questions, so that's why we did that. Yeah, you have heard about the altcoin. So Uniswap, Uni. This was our altcoin. So we will be making our altcoins today. We will be making our own altcoins, and we'll have billions of supply of that. So anything which is not Bitcoin is altcoin in terms of cryptocurrency in cryptocurrency industry. So anything which is not Bitcoin, it is altcoin. That's it. That's the definition of altcoin. Yes, if every transaction is visible to everyone, it can cause threat to person. It can, but you see, when you see the transaction history, you don't see the person's name. You see the address, not the person's name, and that address has a big string of numbers. So if you can if you can separate this from person's identity, you are anonymous. And there are ways. I mean, there are ways. I personally use this wallet. So what it does is it creates a separate wallet for my every transaction. So it creates a new wallet for my every transaction, so that no one can track me from a single address. So it gives me a separate private key, public key pair to create any transaction. So there are ways to get out that issue. So no problem there. These things are handled decentralized. No one is taking care of that, and everything is written in code. You can go ahead and read the code. And network of nodes, the if you are a miner, you are providing the computing power to support this thing. So that's why you are getting paid. This is how these things are handled. uh, yeah, let's go to the demo. I mean, okay. So I have some smart contract written over here. I'll go over it very briefly and we'll deploy it and we'll interact with it. So first of all, I'll go into a little bit more detail. So this is the smart contracts are written in a language called Solidity. So this language is this language is similar to Java or JavaScript. So you have, if you're familiar with class methods, you will be able to understand this thing. So this, instead of class, you have contract. The class name is approval contract, and you will have data type called address, and this public is accessible similar. This address is sender, this is receiver. I'll talk about the payable in a bit. And this is approver address. So this is the address of approver. It is a string of characters, so nothing else. Constructor, just like the normal C++ or any object oriented programming languages. These are the methods here. So what each methods does is, if anyone, any person is calling this deposit function, so the Ethereum network maintains a global variable called message. So message dot sender will be the address of the person who is who is um, executing this deposit method. So message dot sender will be stored here, and he will also send the receiver address, and these things are there. And what it will does, it will store the Ethereum which is present in the transaction into the contract's address. So I told you about the contract address and user account address. So since this is a contract, so it will, the funds, the value which is deposited will not be deposited in the receiver's account. It will be deposited in the contract's account. So that deposit is taken care by the payable keyword here. And we have address, payable, receiver here. I'll talk about why we have used payable here in a bit. And we need message dot value to be greater than 0. This uh, message dot value is basically the Ethereum which is associated with this transaction. So you need to have greater than 0 value so that you can deposit it into the contract address, and you update the sender, you update the receiver. This is about it. This is right transaction. So you are writing something to the blockchain. It will cost you money. view approver. This is another function, and it will show you, it will just return you the address of the approver. And you see there is a keyword called view, and if any method has a view keyword, it is a read only method and it will not cost you money. Function approve, this is a write method and this is approve method. It requires, it enforces that the sender should be the approver. So it matches if it is the approver, and if it is the approver, then it will transfer the funds from address this. This address this is basically the account address, contract address, or app address, or anything. So the balance which is present in the contract address is transferred to the receiver address. See, here we called receiver.transfer. So this transfer function is exposed mainly because of this payable keyword. So this payable keyword allows you to transfer funds into this address. That's why we used. So this is a very basic idea about the approval contract. So let's get ahead and deploy this thing. So I've used truffle migrate. So yeah, I've used truffle framework for smart contract development. So it provides you a development platform which you can use to deploy your smart contract. Here you need to define your network which in which you are going to deploy. So as you know, deploying smart contract costs you money, so you need to I'm not going to spend any money on this demo. So we will be deploying to a network testnet, rinky by testnet. So it has some ETH. You can have ETH into this network, and it is just a copy of Ethereum network, and it is for development purpose. So we will be using that, and I'm not going to detail, but this is the related, this is about the account we are going to use to deploy, because if we are going to send transaction on blockchain. So we need account. So that is that. So I will be deploying the contract. So truffle migrate will deploy the contract here. And in the meantime, let me show you the accounts which we are going to use in our demo. So there is an account called contract owner. So this person is actually, I have configured the addresses there. So this person is deploying the contract. And this is the receiver's address. See, 0.2 ETH is present in the currently receiver's address. This person is going to deposit the funds, depositor, and this is the approver. So I've already made the changes in the code about the account related information. So I have currently in the contract owner section. Let's see where we are. So first of all, it will compile my contracts. So after compilation, it has some warnings, but we are just going to ignore that. After that, it will deploy the contract, first of all, to Rinky by fork. It is a fork of Rinky by testnet. So the truffle framework wanted things to go in the right direction. So it just tests it locally on a Rinky by fork, and if things work properly, it will go ahead and deploy the contract to the Rinky by test network. So if you are deploying to the mainnet or actual network, you can you will have to use mainnet here or production network here where you can use. So this is for testing purpose only, but it will have every features similar to mainnet. Yeah, things are deployed, and as you can see, it cost me some ETH because I have deployed the smart contract. It cost me 0.0062806 Ethereum, and we have our contract address. So let's go ahead and check our contract address here on Etherscan. So we are using Rinky by, sorry, Rinky by network. So we will be using the Etherscan for Rinky by test network. So I'll just copying this thing. Yes, let me just close this window. Yeah, you can see the balance currently, this contract balance is 0 Ether. There is no balance, and a transaction is recorded here for the contract creation, which is just created now. Now, we will interact with this contract. Then how we are going to interact with this contract is via Java code. So I'll briefly describe that how we will be doing that. So there are some tools present as a Java library, which you can use to create a wrapper class for your smart contract. So there is a tool called Web3j CLI tool. You can use it and give the inputs about the compiled files. Let's say in our case, we used We deployed approval contract, so you need to give this file as an input, and that tool will create a wrapper class. So that wrapper class is this. So it is automatically created. You don't need to do that. So this class will help us to interact with the blockchain network via Java code. So it will be easy for us. So if you are not able to get it properly, don't worry. So this is implementation detail, but end goal should be clear. This what we are doing. So first of all, we have already deployed, sorry, the contract, and we have the contract address present here. So let me just copy the contract address, and we will be, since using this contract address, so I have the data structure created here. Yeah. So updated the contract address, and first of all, we will see who is the approver. We'll call the read method here. So let's run this contract and load contract. I am loading this contract by some account which is not approver. So he is some person, he is sender actually. So as you can see, it is shown that approver is this person, and you can compare it with the contracts code if it is the same. So 05FF is the actual owner. So this is the contract result. So read methods are generally very quick. Write methods are slow. So now we will be writing things. So let's check our contract address once again. It should, because after deposit method, it will contain some money, and we will have depositor. So depositor will transfer some money into the contract address. So let's transfer some money. Let's transfer him 0.2 ETH. So he will transfer 0.2 ETH, and he will also give the receiver's address, but it will not go into the receiver's address before approval. So we need to approve that. So it will take some time. Rewrite methods are, if you're writing something into the blockchain, it is slow. It is slow. I mean, 10 seconds, 12 seconds it takes for Ethereum, and for Bitcoin it takes 10 minutes. Bitcoin is very slow. Yeah, it is now successful. Let's check the contract address first of all. So yeah, we got 0.2 Ether present here, and I have also got this. It was 1.8, so it's now 1.5997. So there were some money spent as a transaction fees because we made change into the blockchain. So we wrote into the blockchain. So that's why we had this. So we have this now, and let's check our, sorry, receiver's account. So receiver's account has 0.28 and contract address has 0.2. Now we will be approving this contract. So let's quickly approve this, and we will see the balance there. So this method will just approve the contract. This is also right method, right function, because you are changing the state of the blockchain. So it will take a little bit time. But sorry, since this contract was called by, I haven't changed the true here. So it is called by someone who is not an approver. So it should fail because we have enforced that approver should be this person. Message.sender should be the approver. So I haven't changed this to true. So let's change it to true and quickly verify if it hasn't happened. Yeah, it didn't happen. And we also got the transaction ID hash for 0.2 Ether, which is transferred to this address. Now let's again do that thing, and we'll have, now it should be successful. Receivers had 0.2 ETH. Yeah, now it's successful. Let's check the contract address first. Zero, it has 0 Ether. See, the transaction is created here for the failed transaction. So it takes a little bit of time, this platform, so to update the transaction. So we'll also see some transaction for the minus 0.2. Yeah, we also got this transaction that we took it Now let's check the receiver's address. So receiver has got 0.4 ETH now he has got. So we got end-to-end flow. We called these methods here, and the contract account was controlled by this code. So once this code block is controlling that account, and we are sending money and approving. So this is a very basic setup of showcasing about the contract account and the externally owned account, how they work, and a very basic function of smart contract. So this was the first demo. I'll not stop for questions now, but let's actually go to the second demo. That is very interesting. Let's make cryptocurrency. Let's make our own cryptocurrency now. Contract owner, I will. Some person told that Doge. Let's make Doge. I mean, I have made a lot of Doge for demo. So let's make it, no, not Doge, E-Club token. That's E-Club. So I will be making, so this is a contract for cryptocurrency creation. So ERC20 token creation. So similar to that, but you need to give the token name and symbol. Let's get some good thing. E-Club. And let's give it name Tronics. Sorry, next club. So we are making a coin with the name Electronics Club, and which has a symbol E Club, and up to what decimal point it can be divided is 18. So you can actually give, if your E Club token gets some value, great value, so you can divide it into 0.0000 till 18th decimal point you can divide it. So, and there are two arrays. So I'll go into the very brief thing. So you have balances array, which has basically this is an array whose key is address and value is the amount of E club token which has this address. So you maintain this balance. Let's skip this aloud. I think we already passed a lot of time, so I will not be explaining this, but very basic function of balances. So we will also define the total supply. The total supply, if you can count the zeros, it is 1 billion. So we will have 1 billion E club tokens or coins in our account. And in constructor, we have written that all the coins will be sent to the message.sender. So whoever deploys that contract is only the person who is calling the constructor. So the constructor is called only once while deploying your contract. So that contract owner will have the complete balance here. And you have some read methods which can read the total supply of the coin, which you have some balance of method which can read the balance of any owner. You have transfer methods which you can use to transfer funds from one place to another. So quickly I'll go over there. So you need to have the number of tokens which you are sending in your account. So that is required. And you just change the state of the array. I mean, if you're sending message.sender is sending some money, you just subtract that number of token from that account. And if receiver is getting money, just add that number of tokens and just that. And yeah, these things about delegation, I'll not go into that. You can go into detail maybe offline. You can read about the ERC20 tokens. Let me deploy this contract. Okay. So first of all, this is my migration script. So truffle migrate, I have to call for 3 to, if I don't apply from to 2, it will just deploy every contract present in the migration contract. So migration script. So I will only deploy the those 2.migration. So into the network. So it's eClub coin. It's good, the eClub coins. This is exactly the same procedure which you will have on the mainnet. I am performing it on the testnet because it will cost me actual Ethereum. So that's why I am doing that, but you can do it completely it on the mainnet, and just that you have to pay money. You have to pay that ETH, which is costing you, and that is costly. One ETH is currently, I think 1.8, 1.9 lakh. So if you're thinking that 0.00 is less, it is not less. It is huge. I think in mainnet, if you're deploying your own coins, you on Ethereum, it will cost you 40,000 rupees or 20,000, 30,000. Yeah, around that number. So similarly, it is deploying Doge. The contract name is Doge2, because I have initially created the contract for those two, but you can keep the contract name those two and set your coin name to anything. So because I have already created those two contract earlier preparing for this demo, so I haven't created those two here, but yeah. So this is an altcoin. If you someone asked me, so eClub is an altcoin, and if you make some app, let's say eClub app आपने बना दिया, let's say on based on a smart contract, and you put some criteria over that anyone with 100 eClub coins can participate into any discussion related to eClub, then you will create some value for eClub because you will create some demand for eClub and people will pay for it. That's how you create value for eClub coin if you ever make it. So let's get ahead and check if I have the 1 billion thing. I will add the token here. See, eClub came here, decimal here. Just added the contract, and I have added the code. See, $1 billion, 1 billion eClub tokens I have now. So I have 1 billion eClub. Let's go into the test account and let's add it here as well, eClub. And sorry, this thing. This person has 0 eClub. He is poor. Let's make him rich and send some. Sorry, send some eClub here because it is a cryptocurrency. It is a coin. So just copy the address. I'll just copy the address and I will send him some great eClub tokens. Let's make him rich. 100,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh eClub tokens I will be sending. So let's send this thing. So since I am sending coins, so it will cost me some gas fees or transaction fees. So a thing, if you want to read about this thing, so this is called gas fees, just like your car gas fee. So this transaction fee. Yeah. So right transactions are slow. It takes some time. Yeah, it's successful now. So I must have, yeah, the total number of eClub is reduced now. And if I go into the test account, I have 1 lakh eClub tokens available in my account. So this is my eClub. This is, I'm using Rinky by test network. If you use a Ethereum mainnet, so this is where you have actual value. So here, if you deploy your contract, you can have your value. So if you want to actually deploy your contract and have your value in this code, if you want to do that, just need to make a very slight change. We just create a network for mainnet. This is I have created for Rinky by test network, where I have added the node URL. So you just need to add it for mainnet and it will be deployed to mainnet and it's your altcoin, the futuristic altcoin, Dogecoin, or anything you have. So this is how you create Doge2 or eClub token. And this was it. And yeah, this was demo overall. I will be going to see how many are remaining. Yeah, a lot of them left. So any questions? Please ask because this session is about to be closed. So we will be going to existing decentralized applications now that which are present in the market. So I already told you about Uniswap. So Uniswap is yeah, Uniswap. Basically, it is a there is a smart contract that is deployed on Ethereum network. So what it does that you have, let's say, I will showcase the example with the mainnet network. So that you are actually, you can go ahead and use it. So there are a lot of coins in the market, and if you have bought cryptocurrency or sold cryptocurrency, you should know that you use exchanges to exchange cryptocurrencies. If you want some other token by selling ETH to anything else, you need to use centralized exchanges. So this is a Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange, and the code behind this is written on Ethereum network. So there is no intermediary governing this thing. So no one, if a government is going to ban this cryptocurrency, no one is going to stop this thing. I mean, this will be always available. This is in the, maybe this UI will go away because of the government, but the smart contract which is deployed on Ethereum blockchain will always be there, and you can interact with it with your code always. That's how it goes. Let's say Um, let's say you earned you have some Ethereum in your account, and you are sure that yeah, I mean you got your profit and you want to convert into the dollars, or just you are afraid that market is going down. Sorry, ज़्यादा डाल दिया, इतना इसमें तो मर जाएगा वो, ठीक है? Yeah, you are afraid that market is going down, so you can actually convert your Ethereum to a coin called USDT. So this is ERC20 coin. So it is created on top of Ethereum network, and its value will always be $1. So it is backed by actual real dollars. So you just convert it into this and you use it as your real dollar. So it will show you the current price of one Ethereum, and you can go ahead and exchange it. And you, if you have some coins as well, so you can go ahead and pool your coins, and you will interest some money from by pooling it. And there is a coin called unicoin. So if you have unicoins, then you have the vote for changing this contract. I mean, if you want to update Uniswap, if you are wanting to update this Uniswap with new features, which you want to deploy it as a new smart contract, then you need to have unique token which is associated with this decentralized app. And people actually, they are using a lot this Uniswap platform. So that's where the uni token demand is created, and they try to change this depending upon their needs. And let me quickly show you the scale at which it is acting. I mean, the current volume it is handling is $540 million in 24 hours. So currently, I mean, the cryptocurrency is going down. Still, it was more than $1 billion or $2 billion, as far as I remember. So see the numbers here. I mean, 2 billion, 2.6 billion. So if you are in May or things like that, so it was huge. It came down, but still it is in 24 hours. There are people who is making a huge transaction, $540 million, and $1.67 billion is stored into this platform, so that people are earning out of those $1.6 billion. So you can go ahead and lend your coins. You will get interest on it. So 1.6 billion is logged on this. This is one example of decentralized platform. So if you want to go and check out, let me quickly tell you the price of the Uniswap, so Uni token for this platform. So as I already told you, for a smart contract, you can associate a token with it so that it has some value. So this is a Uniswap token, and the current price is $20, and the market cap is $10 billion. It's huge. So you can go ahead and try your luck. And yeah, so you have DApp Radar. So DApp Radar, decentralized app radar, it has the list of all the decentralized apps which is present in the market. So there are games, there are decentralized finance, there are gambling, there are exchanges just like Uniswap, others, social media. If you are collectibles, YouTube, there are decentralized YouTube if you want to use. There are things like that. So you can use. So this is about the current state of the market. Questions? I think we are done with the session. Any questions we have? Hello?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hi, Prince. I'm a Y17, and I will also be joining Adobe like in a month.
Great, great, great.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And I was thinking, like, do you do all this apart from Adobe, or
This
is
is
there any?
no. This is actually, I am personally very interested in blockchain, and I'll not tell you much detail, but I am doing very similar some blockchain related thing in Adobe, as well as I also initiated some area of investigation in Adobe as well. So this is mainly personal, not with Adobe. So yeah, this is my
Oh,
personal
okay.
interest. Yeah. But Adobe is open to, I mean, exploration. So I have given this session in Adobe as well, and I have got great interest from the teams, and I am actually working on something related to blockchain in Adobe as well. I started working, I think, 2 weeks back.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, would be great if I see you there. Like we can,
Yeah, great.
yeah,
Can
we'll
see
work
me
with.
online.
Yeah.
That's the thing there. Great. So when are you joining?
So 20th July.
Yeah, great. Meet you there.
So okay, sure.
Yeah. Any other questions? You can mute yourself. You don't need to type it on the chat. We are over with the session. I guess.
So I have one question.
Yes.
Like it's a two-part question. Like there are two
Mhm.
things. One is, can this be a cryptocurrency bubble, or is cryptocurrency going to eliminate all the physical cash that we have?
No, it is not going to happen. I mean, if this is going to happen, it will be not very near future. So, but see, the technology is great. It is a great innovation. I'm not telling that it will be going to replace things. I'm not speculating, but I mean, if blockchain is in such a time, it's like internet in 1990s. So if you knew or you contributed on in internet in 1990s, it's same like blockchain. I mean, it's in the very early phase, and if you involve it early, you will get huge opportunities into it. So it's like that. So it is still in very early phase. It will not going to replace the complete currency, though you must if you are following Bitcoin, you must have heard about the El Salvador. There is a country, El Salvador. So they have made Bitcoin as a legal tender. So they have made Bitcoin their country currency. So there are countries adopting it, but major countries will not adopt it. I doubt that, but it will stay nevertheless. Because see, Bitcoin earlier, it was thought to be a cash or a replacement for your dollar or rupees, but currently transaction, one even a single transaction cost you so much of fees. You don't want to pay the transaction fees for one cup of coffee. So that's why Bitcoin is now shifting towards a separate narrative, which is digital gold. So you want to hold the Bitcoin just like you hold the gold and see it appreciate in value. Okay. And with Ethereum supporting these kind of features like deploying apps, things like that. So I am expecting, actually, so my thought, this is completely my thought. So Ethereum is providing a lot more than Bitcoin. So my speculation is Ethereum is going to take over the Bitcoin in terms of market cap. I mean, Bitcoin is just competing for digital gold, but Ethereum is competing for a complete internet. The complete internet is running on Ethereum. You do it, everything on internet, you can do it on Ethereum. So my bet is on Ethereum. So it's like that.
Okay, I get
And
it.
it is a crypto bubble. It was a crypto bubble. It went down. Market is down. But in terms of technology, there is no bubble. I mean, technology is great. It is a great technology, but price wise, there were some overpriced things. So that is there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's over now. Let's see then. I think let's call it a meeting then. I think we have also 1.5 hour session it was. So hopeful, I mean, find it useful. So if you think, if you want, if anyone is interested in this area, please connect with me on my Facebook, or I will share the details with Naja or maybe Shivam. So please connect with me. We can work on this if you have any idea related to this. So if you want to connect with me, so I'm open to that. I also wanted to mentor a team who will be working on blockchain in eClub, but let's see how it goes if we have the sufficient number of people there. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, Prince. Yes. Thanks
Yes.
a lot for the session. It was a very interesting session.
Yeah. If you have any doubts, I'll share the contact details. Please ask me those questions there. Maybe you might have not the questions here, but you can ask them afterwards.
Yes,
I'll
sure,
share
sure.
my emails and things like that. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed the session as much as we did. So see you guys in the next session.